This is 2.0 You with Michelle Swinick, and today's 2.0 spotlight is on Larry Courtcamp, the co-founder of OBBM Network TV, and we have some amazing, exciting news. This is new. This is breaking news, everyone. We have proprietary technology that has just been released to the public. It's intent and time-based lead generation. Larry, go ahead and take it away.
Oh my gosh, there's almost too much to talk about in just a short presentation, but we're going to do our best, Michelle, to try and tell what this is. So you're correct. The first analogy you said, it was time and intent. Both of those are important. So you and I have been in business for a long time, not together, but a long time.
Yeah.
Me, obviously, 4 or 5 times longer than you because you're still so young and attractive. But over time, the hardest thing being in a small business, or really any business, is finding people to sell your products or services to. It's all lead generation. And over the years, there's all kinds of variations on how to do that. Typically, we all end up buying a list. The list is cultivated by a list broker. They put together all these different things about people based on the fact they're married, they own their own home, they have a car, their income is such, they work for a company, blah, blah, blah. All these different filters, and you buy depending on how many filters you apply to this list. And they're very expensive. It can go anywhere from $1 a name to $5 a name to $10 a name, depending on how specific you are. So it's very costly. One name is one name, but if you need hundreds of it for a sales team, it gets very expensive to do this. Up until just recently, that's kind of where you are. Now, a lot of the big tech has had what you and I are about to talk about. Big tech's had at their disposal for years, which is why they became big tech, because it's really extremely powerful information to have, and they didn't want anybody but the elite little group sitting around the card table to have this kind of information. But now we're letting the cat out of the bag, and real people are going to be able to have this stuff. So basically what it boils down to is, now if you're trying to generate a lead, you have 2 ways of doing this. Talk about the first one first because it's easy. The first one we call data pulse. Data pulse is simply a pixel, a line of code that goes up towards the header, in the header of your website, where your URL is. You put this little line of code up there. From then on, we have the ability to see the traffic that's coming through your website. Now, the traffic, you can already get this type of information through like analytics companies. They will tell you, you had so many visits today. They stayed on this website today, this page today. They went through the page this much. They watched this much of the video. They did all this kind of stuff. But they never give you any other information or actionable information from this data. All they do is give you all these little bits and pieces, which at the end of the day probably just frustrates you. Great, I had 1,000 visitors to my website. What the heck am I supposed to do with that? Today, this particular technology, now we get to identify a percentage of those people. It's not 100% because some people are they've put themselves on lists, or there's other reasons why their data is somewhat hidden or obscured from what we can find. But utilizing 40 to 45 extremely large but very articulate websites and search engines and databases, we can actually match those visits with a real person. So we can tell you, not only did you have 100 people that visited your website today, here's 60 of them, here's their name, phone number, email, and a variety of other data that you might want to have from those particular visitors. So, instantly, what did that just do to you? Now, anybody who owns a website, every single day, they're now going to get a report put right into their email inbox that says, here are the people that visited your website today. Build your customer list. Follow up with them. We had a major e-tailer. I don't want to describe
I like that,
what it is.
e-tailer.
It's an e-tailer. They sell things online, but they were very skeptical. It took us 3 weeks. They were part of our beta test. It took us 3 weeks just to get them to put the pixel on their website. Then we watched the pixel for probably 2 weeks, looking at traffic and that sort of thing. And then they actually implemented it and put it into practice for 30 days. In 30 days, they were able to convert $200,000 more in sales simply by contacting back or following up on the visitors that they would never have previously known that were even there. More importantly, which was interesting, they had a targeted age group for their products. They confessed that they were 10 years off on what they thought their anticipated market was. They were actually gearing everything towards the wrong age
Mm.
group in their market. And that was strictly being having a tool that's placed on their site and having to follow up customers that come to it. Now, they had actually been using 4 other tools, spending $35,000 a month
Ouch.
to try and do something similar to what we've been able to give them for less money.
Mm-hmm.
Needless to say, a happy customer down the road. So this one explained really briefly. It's called Data Pulse. It really just allows you to see the traffic on your website and convert what used to be invisible clicks, bounces, all this kind of stuff into actionable intel that you can actually follow up on and add to a customer list.
So the website is going from an information site to a lead generation site.
You are correct.
I want to say that again for anybody who's watching this. Your website, okay? But let this sink in. Now I picture the guy with the sink walking into the building. Let this sink in. Your website now is going to be able to capture the people that leave because 97% of the people that go to a website leave and they don't convert into sales and they don't subscribe. So you don't know who they are. Like we were having this conversation. So I had 1,000 hits on my website. Yeah, but if I don't know who they are, it doesn't matter if I have 1 or 1,000 and I spent all this effort, whether it's even pushing out to social media, which is time, or you're placing ads, or you're using other like sources in order to drive traffic, right? Your marketing efforts, your advertising efforts. You're spending all this time and money, and then the people aren't converting. Maybe it's because not that they don't want your product, the phone chirped, or the kid came home, or the husband needed something, or the wife, or I had to leave. So then they forgot about it because people are being bombarded. And apparently now you need to be in front of somebody 25 times. Used to be 7 to 10, used to be 12 to 18. I heard it was 25 times you need to be in front of somebody in order for them to engage or purchase your product or service. So now with this proprietary technology, what you're showing and telling people, and you just gave them an example, they can get anywhere from 15 to 25% on the low end, 50 to 60% on the high end, the names, the phone numbers, the email addresses, and some other demographics of the people that came to their website so they can capture these potential clients and customers and then convert them. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, that is correct. You're correct, Michelle. In fact, the other day when you and I were talking about it, I had conveyed a story that I talked to about a brick and mortar retail owner that had 3 or 4 different locations, whatever it was. And he said, this is really incredible. He said, I equate it to my brick and mortar stores. Imagine that I open a store, all the effort that goes into doing that, getting the location and putting up all the stuff in the windows and displaying everything inside the business, making sure you have the payment thing scheduled so you can buy payments. Then you go into all of what you just described, all that advanced advertising, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, trying to get people and what they do is they stick their head in the door and they look around for a second and they leave. You don't even get the opportunity to do it. My website is just the same. I spend a lot of money and effort and time creating an inviting website. And then I go out and I put all this effort into trying to get people to come to the website. And then I get this nice report from my analytics company that said 1,000 people did visit your website. And I'm happy because I got the little wave or the thumbs up, right? But it's like, what am I supposed to do with that? So
Nothing.
you're telling me now that I'm actually going to get actionable information with someone's name, phone number, email, so I can actually follow up with that customer? That's amazing.
And this is something that was only available to the big guys because this is data is everything. And then they've been selling your data for decades that they've had access to it. We regular people, small, medium, even some of the larger businesses, not the mega ones, never had access to this information. Now we do. So do you want to go in a little bit more detail about the data pulse, or should we switch to the
Actually, I
other
think the data
section?
pulse, the data pulse technology is actually really easy for people to kind of understand, I do believe.
Mhm.
They can wrap their head, but it's a good way to get them introduced to the technology, because really what we're doing is matching that visitation to this giant series of all these different databases that are out there. You have to pay to access them, but now we actually have the ability to do that, and then be able to take all this. What this data looks like is really, uh, talk about Greek to me. I mean, this is just nothing but dots and zeros kind of stuff. I don't, without having the interpretation to be able to convert that into actionable reports, and you'd never know what you're looking at. But we have access to this big database. So the second tool comes into play, which is actually called Lead Engine, but it is now a proactive lead generation tool. This is the one that combines the intent and timeliness. Before, as we said in the beginning, we could buy a list. We could buy a list of all the people that own their own homes and have 700 credit scores. That's easy. But these lists are compiled, and they're compiled by brokers over time, and then they're sold to you at certain periods. Some are fresher than others. You pay for freshness, but the freshness might be anywhere from a couple of months, 6 months, whatever, a year. Those of us that use these lists find that there's oftentimes 40, 60% or more where the content is not, it's just not valid anymore. They've moved on, or it's got the wrong email or whatever. So it's not even a great list, but you still pay for it. You pay for it up in advance. Lead Engine, the second technology, takes all the new ability for us to match. Now we follow all the different search engines that are available: Yahoo, Google, ChatGPT, articles, all sorts of things where people have said, I'm looking for an air conditioning repairman in Tucson, Arizona. Now we can see that that search was made. We can now focus in on who made the search. So we now have the ability to go to an AC repair guy and say, hey, would you be interested to know that Michelle Swinick yesterday was searching for an AC repairman, and she lives in Phoenix, Arizona. She wanted an AC guy yesterday, and now you can have her contact information. Would you like that? How would you like to have 50 or 100 of those every day just sent to your inbox? Would that be valuable to you? Well, it's like, not only now am I getting all the other filters I wanted, I know she's got a good credit score. I know her email. I know her contact information beyond that, her name and phone number. I can do text message campaigns. I can do email campaigns. So not only is it good information, but it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Now we have intent, which is the missing component that we've never been able to have before. This intent, we now can identify people and match them with the people that are actually providing those services. It's huge, huge, and at reasonable pricing.
So intent, they're looking, time, recently, as in maybe an hour ago,
Well,
up to maybe 2
we're
days or so, but it's
right.
quick.
We are kind of playing it safe here on the rollout. We're saying 48 hours to begin with. We think we can get it down into 24, but let's say conservatively 48 hours. Still
Fresh.
pretty fresh. Yeah. Unless their house is on fire and they're calling for a fireman, you probably got enough time to call this customer back. And someone said, yeah, but they're not going to buy a car overnight. Oh, okay, that's fine. But yesterday they were looking for an Audi in the area. So even if they're not going to buy it for a month, you still now have their contact information. So beginning today, you can send them the specials on the Audis at your dealership every 3 days if you want. Make sure that you are first and foremost in their mind when they do in fact choose to pull the trigger on buying an Audi. They're going to buy it from you because you have now established a rapport with them over a period of time. And it could be a sales cycle that's longer, but you never even had that opportunity before. It just didn't exist. So now you do.
Yeah, this is a total game changer for how businesses market, especially digital and online businesses. So let's just say you don't have a brick and mortar, like a car dealership, where you mentioned the plumbing service. You're a coaching business, or you're just a digital platform that has products and services, consultants,
Well,
you name it.
like
Explain
the
that.
e-tailer I
Yeah,
mentioned, right? They're not brick and mortar. It's an e-tailer.
yeah,
It's like a lot of your customers are, your clients are all coaching or
yeah. The coaching
video hosts,
capacity. Yeah,
right?
yep. They have their own
Before
platforms.
before YouTube, Facebook, they nicely give you you had a thumbs up view today, right?
Right?
You
Yeah,
got
that
that?
doesn't right, I have, 20 I had 24 million views on one video and 18 hours on Twitter, and that literally did nothing for my business. It's great
No.
that people saw it, but I don't know who they were that saw it. Now, could you imagine if I was able to capture a fraction of that information to market to them? That's what
Imagine.
this is. That's
That's
what
what this
this
is.
platform is. That's what is Data Pulse and also the lead engine because you're able to acquire that information, people that are actively, intently searching for something that you have to provide to them.
And as I said before, it is legally obtained because I can't give you 100% of the results because some people have opted out. They didn't want their information being shared, blah, 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 whatever that happens to
Mhm.
be. So it is legally obtained. Yes, you can follow up on it. Yes, you can put it into your funnel, your email server, whatever you use. Which reminds me, we have partnered with an excellent company, a great friend based here in Texas. It's been a major CRM provider for over 25 years. It's called Sales Nexus. They are actually our CRM, and as such, they were involved in a lot of the testing and what it takes in order to turn these leads into action through an email type funnel. They use AI inside their CRM. So a lot of people don't understand. Now I know they visited the website. What do I say? Okay,
Mm.
I'm gonna send them an email. I can't just say, "Hey, thanks for visiting the site yesterday." That might freak them out. So, what what am I going to say? So, this company tailor makes, depending on what your business is and what your intent is, they help you to create these email formats to go out and handle these two different types of businesses. It's also available in segments such as geographic locations. So let's say your sales team is in 3 different cities. For the search engine, you could actually search for, I don't know, converting an IRA into a gold IRA, whatever. You could actually do a nationwide search, but then when the results come back in, you could parse those results out, some going to your LA team, some to your Atlanta team, some to your Connecticut team, so that they're all working geographically based leads and can handle them more efficiently. Huge opportunities. People, when you and I talk to people about it, you can almost tell by their facial expressions whether they completely understand it or not. It's like, oh yeah,
Well,
okay, okay. So let me do it the other way. I know who visited your website, and I've got their names and numbers, and you don't want those.
wait, what? Yeah,
Well,
that's a
I
I
can
got
get them. I
what?
can get them from someplace else. Really? Do they give them to you now? Can you
Yeah.
get them now? No.
Mm-mm.
No,
Mm-mm.
it's never been done before. Never been done before. And it works just as good on B2B as it does on B2B, B2C. B2B we've had Zoom Info, for instance. I can go in and look up Michelle Swinnick. She works for ABC Corporation. This is her business phone and her business email. That's great. But I've never been able to reach Michelle Swinnick customer with her
Mm.
home phone and her home email and her home zip code, right? It was all locked up in this corporate thing. Huge difference for the majority of businesses in America. Out of all the businesses in America, 80% of them are what we call a true small business, 9 employees or less, or no employees at all. So
Mm.
those are the people, and there's over 26 million of them across the country that are responsible for over 50% of the nation's GDP. And those are the companies that have been just left out in the cold. We don't care about you. Yes, these people can wear a mask and shop at Walmart, but they can't shop at your location,
Not for
right?
you. No.
Those people know this. Yeah. So we want to
Mm.
help those people that really have been kind of left out of the loop. And this is a true level up tool. You are now being leveled up to anybody out there. Now it's up to you. We'll give you the information. Now you got to figure out how to convert it. And that's where people like you come in, Michelle, because you
Mhm.
teach them tools on how to be better salespeople, how to manage their customer bases better. So this is just another tool in the toolbox. Admittedly, it's a big one, but it is still only one piece of the puzzle, and all the rest of it needs people like you and OBBM Network and Spreely, our best buddy that's helping us with this technology. All these tools are available now for the common business guy or gal, and they are awesome, and they really can help you propel your business forward.
And we priced it so it's affordable. It's much less than if you were hiring these marketing companies. And a lot of the people's ad budgets that I hear have 2 digits in front of the comma. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't even have to go that high. I mean, you can,
No.
depending on what your volume is. Like you're talking about this company, one of the e-tailers that received your data that was going to their website and converted that into $200,000 in additional sales within 30 days because they had that information. Not to mention it changed their whole marketing approach because they found out that their clientele was 10 years younger. Whoa, big difference in what you're trying to target and sell them. Thanks for letting me know, right? We've missed out on the whole boat, right? You're over here fishing over here, and then you wonder why all the little fishies are in like just 2 feet to the other side.
Yeah, they're
So
not looking for walkers. They're looking
no,
for
they're
tennis
looking.
rackets, right?
Yeah,
They
they're
wanted.
still active. They're still active, right? There's no the geriatric stuff. These are the younger people. So we've basically wanted to make sure that this was very personalized. So I have my number scrolling on the bottom of the screen, which is 601-301-3503. That's my cell phone number. So I want people to call me because I'm going to send you a couple of videos. I want to be there to answer the questions because until you really understand the power of what this is, I don't want you to watch a video and go, "Oh, okay, it's just something else that I already know." No, 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 no. This is a game changer. This is getting you vital information about people that are either A, coming to your website that you've already spent all this time and effort getting them to go there, especially if you're placing Facebook ads or Google ads or TikTok ads. You spent the money and the time. They're showing up. Now you know who they are after they leave.
Tell them also the special we're running right now, Michelle, through you, right? Is
Mhm.
they can test the pixel on their website. We'll run that pixel information for a week. We'll gather the data for the week, no charge.
No charge.
At the end of the week, we're going to call them up. We'll send them the information so they can see it. And then you can go over it with the client and say, here's the traffic, and let's pick the best pricing based on what your traffic is. Maybe you only get 100 things, 100 site visits a month. Maybe you get 100 million. Whatever that happens to be, we want to make sure that we adapt the package to your benefit. So free pixel for a week if you call
Yeah.
Michelle and she'll help you fix it right up.
And again, the number is scrolling at 601-301-3503, and we'll go through it together, right? I want a human approach to this. And then after that, of course, you're going to have automation beyond belief. But there's
Yeah.
always the human touch because that's what's missing in so many of these things, so many of these packages, so many of these businesses nowadays. So you can't get the questions answered. I want it to be clear. And then we'll also go over the other option, which is the lead generation or the lead engine, which is you can now go ahead and request certain demographics for time-sensitive leads, time-sensitive lead generation that has intent. These people are actively looking. So then you can figure out maybe that's the approach, or we do a blend of the both, right? You do a blend of the both. But this will really optimize the efforts that you're doing, plus the amount of money that you're spending. And you can kind of adjust there. This is a game changer, Larry. And I'm not just saying
If
that.
you
That's why I said I'm in. I'm in. Larry,
Yeah.
you have solved world hunger yet again. First OBBM with the freedom that you can have so people can play, get their videos and their content on your network, OBBM network TV, without censorship, right? Plus you can watch it on Roku and you can watch it on the regular TV platforms, digital platforms. But now you've come in with a solution for the businesses, small to a little bit larger, right? To solve their lead generation
And
obstacles.
as an added bonus, we're giving them a free spot on their city channel so they can post a commercial on their city channel for free as well. So they will be on the on-demand section for the city channel. We're really trying to make this. I mean, if you're not going to do this, I question whether or not you're serious about being in business. If you have your own website and you're not interested in finding out, you've got to question, why am I even here? Why do I have a website? What's the point? If you're not interested in any traffic, close it down. Save yourself some hosting money. Because
Right.
if you've got a website, you need to know who's visiting the website
Mhm.
and be able to market to those people, regardless of what business you're in. Whether you sell Mexican food or uh, walkers or
Protein
geriatric
packages, protein
vitamins.
packages. name it. It's all, it
It
doesn't
matters
matter.
not.
You're
Yeah,
selling something, a product or a service, an evergreen product, whether it's digital. You're now able to take your website, which was information based, and turn it into a true lead generation platform, because you're going to get those names, those 97% of the people that left, not because they didn't want to buy or they didn't want your information, that something came up or they were questioning. Now you capture that information and you can market to them however you see fit, depending on. But we also have options to help you market to them strategically through the other partners that work with. So there's multiple levels of participation in a package, but the key is we got the data, guys. We have the data, and you can get the data.
right. Very good.
Mind blowing. Thank you, Larry. So I encourage you, everybody, call me, watch the videos. We'll go through it together. We could get Larry on a connect call, so that way you can get your questions answered at the next level, if that's what it takes. But again,
If I
7 day free
participate in
trial.
the call now, if I participate in the call, I'm adding $100,000 to the bottom line of the account.
Right, right. No, and I think that's totally fair, because
Totally fair.
you're getting the
Totally
expert
fair.
services, but it's a 7 day free trial to have the pixel attached to your
Right.
website for the data
Right.
pulse version, so you can see the traffic for the first time of, well, who is really coming in, and you can get that, and then we can talk about the packages. So
Right.
again, it's
And
six.
that e-tailer got the same thing. I mean, we gave them several thousand leads. I mean, they could have just taken the leads and walked, but when you see what you get, Americans are like that. When we get something, we just want a little bit more. So if we give you 100 leads that are good, you're going to say, well, where's the rest of them? Well, here's,
Oh, they're coming.
there you go. They're coming.
And it's reasonably priced. So again, 601-301-3503. Pick up the phone, old school, because this will be more successful communicating human to human, and then we'll move forward. I'm going to tell, this is literally a game changer. Thank you, Larry Courtcamp with OBBM, the co-founder.
You're welcome.
Welcome to the future of lead generation. Like most businesses, you work hard to attract the right prospects, yet many still slip through the cracks. With Lead Engine and Data Pulse working together, this breakthrough solution closes that gap, turning invisible clicks and hidden interest into real, actionable customers. Here's the reality. Most businesses waste money chasing the wrong people, while valuable website visitors disappear without converting. Studies show that up to 97% of site visitors leave without taking action. That means lost revenue, wasted ad dollars, and competitors reaching your prospects first. Our solution solves both sides of the problem. First, Lead Engine identifies brand new prospects already searching for your services. Then, Data Pulse recaptures the visitors who showed interest on your website but left before you could connect. Together, they create a complete pipeline of high-intent, high-value opportunities. Step 1 is Data Pulse visitor identification. Even the best websites lose most of their visitors without ever knowing who they were. Data Pulse changes that. We can match a portion of those anonymous visitors to verified profiles, typically 15 to 25% on the low side and over 50% on the high side. Suddenly, those mystery clicks become real contacts you can follow up with through your CRM, sales team, or remarketing campaigns. And with pixel tracking, Data Pulse takes it a step further. A simple line of code in your website header doesn't just identify visitors. It compares their activity and digital footprint against dozens of trusted data sources to create a more complete profile. Each visitor can be enriched with verified details like name, email, phone number, company, and job title. That means you don't just see traffic, you see who they are, what they're doing on your site, and you gain the information needed to follow up. From there, you can validate leads, measure campaign performance, and trigger automated follow-ups like coupons, reminders, or retargeting ads to close the gap between browsing and buying. Step 2 is Lead Engine, our intent-based lead generation tool. It monitors millions of online behaviors, searches, clicks, and article reads, tied to keywords specific to your services. When someone matches your targeting filters, like age, income, net worth, or homeowner status, they're flagged as in-market. Every record is verified, refreshed every 3 days, and delivered straight to your team, so you're always working fresh, accurate, high-intent leads. By combining Lead Engine intent data with Data Pulse visitor identification, you get a complete full funnel system. You capture new prospects before they ever reach you, and you recapture the warm ones who already did. This lowers your cost per acquisition, increases your conversion rates, and maximizes the return on the marketing you're already paying for. The results are powerful. Because you're only targeting verified, high-intent prospects, your customer acquisition cost goes down. And because these clients are more prepared and financially ready, they tend to buy larger packages, stay longer, and refer others, which drives up your lifetime value. In short, you spend less to acquire customers who are worth more. All of this is done with compliance at the forefront. Every match is ethically sourced, privacy respectful, and legally aligned. No personally identifiable information is ever shared without consent. That means you get better results without taking on unnecessary risk. Don't just take our word for it. Businesses using Data Pulse have seen real, measurable results. One e-commerce retailer, for example, generated over $200,000 in additional sales simply by retargeting visitors identified through our system. That's revenue they would have lost otherwise. When it comes to finding new customers, most tools only give you part of the puzzle. Zoom Info gives you names. Google sells you eyeballs. Lead Forensics tells you someone visited your site. i360 shows you who votes. But none of them deliver the whole picture. Only Lead Engine and Data Pulse put it all together. Real-time search activity, match identities, enrich profiles, and ongoing visitor tracking. Why rent data when you can own your audience? Contact us today to explore our full suite of marketing tools.
Multiple streams of income is always important because you never know what's going to happen. Your company that you're working for could get bought out, you could get fired, things change.
Never depend on a single income. Make an investment to create a second source. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. Warren Buffett. Invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. Ecclesiastes 11:2.
I'm so passionate about getting the message out that you don't have to be sick and you don't have to be broke. See, there's 2 paths that you can take when you're starting to partner with Live Pure in the sense of starting a business. We're not talking about customers in this overview. We're talking about you're ready to invest some money and see some return on your investment very quickly. You can invest $1,990 or you can invest $729. You choose. Let me show you the difference. Either one, you're going to subscribe for $165 a month of product. That must happen for you to get the paychecks I'm about to talk about. You're immediately going to go find 2 people who are interested in doing the exact same thing as you. This is one of the bonuses that I'm going to be basing your income on. The company pays 7 different ways. This is just one of those ways. It's called the team bonus. And if you come in with that $790 investment and immediately go find 2 people to do the same thing, at the end of week 2, you will have made $50 in the team bonus. At the end of week 3, you'll now have 2 new brand partners on each of your teams that have come in with that $790 order, and you'll have made $100 in your team bonus. At the end of week 4, you'll have made $200. At the end of week 5, you'll be making $400 that week. Let's fast forward down to week 9 and look at that check for that week would be $6,400. Let me break it down for you. With that $729 investment, you'll have made $800 in 1 month. So essentially, you'll have made your investment back in 1 month. You'll have made $13,200 in 9 weeks, and you'll be locked in to make $6,000 per week starting week 9. This is assuming that you have 256 new brand partners joining your team that week. This is pretty powerful, guys. And so what's going to happen if you start with the VIP package? It jumps. That first week that you have 2 new people joining you, you'll make a $150 team bonus. Remember, there's 6 other bonuses. I'm not talking about that. By week 3, you'll have made $300 that week. Week 4, you'll make $600 that week. Week 5, you'll make $1,200. Let's jump down to week 9. You'll be making $12,500 per week in the team bonus. This is what it looks like. You come in with a $1,990 investment. You're going to make $2,900 your first month. So you've more than made your investment back in 4 weeks. At the 9-week mark, you'll have made $33,400. And you will be making $12,500 per week starting week 9. Here's the key between the 2 different starting points. With the VIP package, not only are you getting the additional bonus payouts, but you are getting additional products from the company for your entire family to consume rather than just you. You're getting access to VIP mentoring and coaching. from the top earners in this company, weekly Q&A calls, access to the leadership retreats that those top leaders put on for you. You're going to get increased commissions from the company for the next 6 months. You're going to get launch calls, mentoring and coaching that is only available to the VIPs. I'm so passionate about getting the message out that you don't have to be sick and you don't have to be broke. So the question is, where will you start? $729 or $1,990? Do you want to do this alone, by yourself? Or do you want mentoring, coaching, hand-holding, people who will help you build your team and duplicate? Duplication is the key here. And with that $1,990 investment, you're going to have access to our VIP coaching and mentoring, where we help you duplicate to where you get to that week 10 and you are reaping the benefits of an explosion of growth in your organization and radically changing people's health and finances. Where else can you invest less than $2,000, make that investment back in 1 month, and have a 5-figure weekly income locked in by week 10? Where else can you do it? 17-year-old company, wealthy owners, products in the physician's desk reference, and over 450 healthcare providers recommending these products across the country. Welcome to Pure.
Will you still be here in 3 years' time? That's a big question on many, many people's lips because of the AI tsunami that's coming down the line now. Hey there, my name is Steve Brossman, 9 times best-selling author, primarily in marketing and sales, and creator of the Human Leverage Factor. For the last 12 months, I've actually been working with a group of people at the highest level who are creating artificial intelligence for many larger organizations, and I've seen what's coming down the pipeline. Now, I was listening to an expert just yesterday, and the way that he broke it down, I thought I've got to share it with you, not only to give you the warning, but also give you some ideas on how you can leverage that. And the way he broke it down was absolutely brilliant. There's going to be 3 groups of businesses and business people and types in the coming world. There's what we call the builders, and they're not just the house builders, but they're those who actually do build something. They're those who are the skilled trades, the manual workers, those who are out there that are not really at risk. The AI might actually enhance their business, but I actually heard Gary Vaynerchuk the other day saying that the builders, the tradies, the electricians, the baggage handlers, they're not really concerned about AI and what's going to happen because their job is going to be safe. There are those that are in that area who do build things, particularly in IT, computer and technical engineers, chemical engineers. Those sorts of people are going to be very vulnerable. So there's around about 20% of that group who are at risk of either losing, being replaced, or having to modify the way that they work. The biggest one, unfortunately, are the thinkers. Those of you who sell your knowledge, your skills, or your expertise as your prime service offering. And really, that's been my market, my group, the people that I've helped the most over the last 20 years, helping create their unique authority position and get it out there. However, if you just accept what's going to happen, if you are going to be one of the lazy ones who just leverage AI, and look, these days you can actually type in your website, you can type in a few keywords, and all of your marketing for the month is done for you. Unfortunately, it's going to sound and look the same as just about all the others. So if you are a coach, a consultant, those in accountancy, those in the financial services, brokers, planners, business, IT and lifestyle service providers, even some medical, are going to become redundant and replaced by some of the AI that is coming down right now. So what they're predicting is if you are in one of those industries, 60% of you will not be here in the next 2 to 3 years. Those who are going to be here are going to be those unique authorities, those that are creative and judgment-based, artists, strategists and designers. Those of you are fairly safe, but there may be some modifications in what you do. So have a look at what you are doing right now. And if you are a coach, consultant, planner, accountant, broker, if you're in that space, have a look at what you are doing to protect yourself going forward. And I'm going to share some insights as to what it is that you can do. Now, the other group that they were talking about are the actual carers, those who need to be here for human-to-human contact. Now, they may be in the aged care, they may be frontliners, nurses, first responders, those who are essential in the human-to-human world. Now, some of those will be replaced, and many of those will be in the support staff and the admin staff in those particular areas. So the carer industry, they will be relatively safe because of the needs of the human aspect. Those in the builder space, who are those who use their manual labour and some of their thought processes to build things, some of those will become redundant, but many of you will be okay. But it's you guys, my people, the people that I work with in the middle, who sell your knowledge, your skills, or your expertise. And much of that is going to be replaced. But you're not going to beat AI. You're not going to beat the tsunami. It's coming. It's a wave. In fact, one of the people that I was in contact with just 9 months ago, and she was somebody that was in the author authority book production space and helping people with that. And she was doing okay. Just a couple of weeks ago, she was reaching out, basically saying most of her business is gone because she has been replaced by a lot of the technology that is out there right now. So what you really do need to do is, what is your human factor? How can you leverage that? How can you rise above others that are not, and you're going to be the one that stands out? If you're just going to sit out there and be what we call the an accountant, a consultant, a broker, a planner, then you're going to be swallowed up. You're going to need to put in the time, you're going to need to put in the effort, and you're going to need to highlight and rise above and really excel at being able to do that human to human. So people know who you are, you can understand, you can work with these people in a totally different way, because if you do what you've always done, you will be spat out the door. You've got to be able to leverage the human factor and then rise above those who don't. It's coming, it has started, and you can't put it off, because very soon there's going to be things coming out that will take your job.
You follow the system and you will see the results, and it'll literally change your life, so then you can change other people's lives. Because again, you cannot operate at your prime. You can't 2.0 yourself. You can't be the best that you are and show up for other people who need you most if you're sick, tired, toxic, broke, and dependent. Once I just flooded myself with this plant-based nutrition so the body could heal itself, all of a sudden everything started to go back to normal. The sleep was better. Hot flashes, they're gone. My bowels, I'm like a champ. Inflammation, it's like two different people. This is not from exercise, everybody. This is from nutrition. This is from supplements and skincare. To purchase products or get more information, go to savemyfreedom.us. Click Get Healthy, 601-301-3503. We're your people, right? Because we're here to help people make money and get healthy. Because look, what does this say? What does this say? What does that say, Mike? Read that.
You can have everything in life that you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. How about that?
How about that? How about that? It's pretty much a brilliant statement by the great Zig Ziglar. And it's just a matter of, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to keep living the life that you're living? Or do you want to make a change, which requires 30 minutes a day, following some instructions, and make some money and get healthy? That's it. And have people there supporting you, showing you, guiding you, helping you. So you're not doing it by yourself. I did all that election stuff. I mean, Leo helped, but I did it all by myself. And I said, I don't want to do this stuff by myself anymore. I don't like doing things and starting from scratch and having to create it. If I'm going to do anything, I need a team. I want a group. I want people to support. I want a mentor. I want somebody to ask questions to. I don't want to have to spend hours trying to figure it out. It's all done. We figured it all out. It's already finished. You just got to follow the instructions. If you're coachable, that's a way, because otherwise at the end of the day, this is us. We're just a bunch of low-hanging fruit that is so low to the ground that it's literally rotting. The opportunity of a lifetime. Don't let the opportunity of your lifetime be like the low-hanging, rotting fruit on the ground in 140-degree heat here in Maricopa County, Arizona. Don't let that be you.
Yeah.
Because 30 days is going to go by real quick. You're not getting any healthier, and you're not getting any more money in the bank account. And you don't want to live like that.
It's all about an
live like that. You don't have to live like that. No
It's
more.
all about an ecosystem, which is very powerful.
But we did it. We put the ecosystem together. We put it together for the people. The business model of the people is now active. Okay? It's through the Save My Freedom movement. 2 complete digital platforms to build residual income, to get yourself healthy, to make more money, help other people, transform your life, get your time freedom back, get your health freedom back, get your financial freedom back, and a complete support staff and coaches and mentors who are making a hell of a lot of money, who have been doing this for a lot of years, and they know what they're doing, right? It's just, and you don't even have to do the work. They're working for you. All you got to do is invite somebody to a webinar or invite someone to call me, and we'll do all the rest. That's all you got to do. I don't do anything unless I've done it myself. I don't do anything half-assed. You guys should know that by now. I don't align myself with other people that are not, that aren't more successful than myself, because I need to learn from them. I don't know the stuff, right? I'm not there to reinvent the wheel. I'm just there to help make it spin faster, so everybody can be at the same pace, and let's do this. I'm telling you, this is amazing. It's the solutions, guys. It's the solutions. It's the easiest thing you can do in your life, and it will change everything. Look,
I will just say
there's
that
the sign.
taking the country back, as you hold up the sign, taking the country back starts with taking our lives back, and it's not just about taking back our votes, it's about taking back our health and taking about our financial freedom as well. So I commend you guys.
So yeah, go to savemyfreedom.us, savemyfreedom.us. You subscribe to the Substack.